Perched on the edge of a thunderous waterfall, where mist curls like ghostly fingers and the cliffs whisper centuries of tragedy, stands a hotel with a name that chills the bone. Hotel Del Salto. The Hotel of the Leap. Its story begins with beauty, twists into horror, and ends, well, does it ever truly end? This is a place where the walls remember screams, where the river below runs black with poison, and where the spirits of the dead refuse to rest. Welcome to the darkest chapter of Colombia's haunted history. The haunted legacy of Hotel Del Salto, Colombia's suicide hotel. Perched dramatically on the edge of Colombia's Tequendama Falls, Hotel Del Salto, literally Hotel of the Leap, stands as a monument to both breathtaking beauty and profound tragedy. This architectural gem, originally built in 1923 as a luxurious mansion for architect Carlos Arturo Tapias, has become one of South America's most infamous haunted locations, earning its grim nickname, the Suicide Hotel, through decades of mysterious deaths, violent history, and persistent paranormal claims. The descent into darkness, suicides, and supernatural claims. The hotel's reputation took a horrifying turn as guests began leaping to their deaths from the cliffs and balconies. Some were clearly suicides, leaving behind notes or personal items, and others were more mysterious, people falling accidentally from the same spots where others had intentionally jumped. One of the most chilling accounts involves a hotel guest who brutally murdered a young socialite in one of the rooms, splattering the walls with her blood. Visitors and staff later reported seeing her ghostly figure peering from the windows of that room. The hotel became entangled in multiple police investigations of deaths at the falls, further damaging its reputation. Paranormal activity escalated after the hotel's closure in the early 1990s due to declining tourism and the Bogotá River's horrific pollution. Ghost hunters and squatters reported loud, unexplained cries emanating from within the empty building at night, apparitions of Muisca people and colonial-era figures, feelings of being watched or pushed near the edges, frequent mudslides and accidents on the access road, attributed by some to supernatural forces. The polluted river below added to the eerie atmosphere, with its toxic, foul-smelling water so contaminated that in some areas no life could survive. Many believed the land was cursed by the Muisca for building on their sacred site. Restoration and Rebirth, Museum of Biodiversity and Culture. In 2011, a joint effort by the National University of Colombia's Institute of Natural Sciences and the Ecological Farm Foundation of Porvenir began restoring the decaying structure. Rather than reopening as a hotel, it was reborn in 2013 as the Tequendama Falls Museum of Biodiversity and Culture, with its first exhibit focusing on subterranean ecosystems. Today, visitors can tour the beautifully restored building during daylight hours. It closes at 5 p.m. before the alleged paranormal activity begins. The museum showcases the region's biodiversity and cultural heritage, including the Muisca's sacred connection to the site. Some visitors still report eerie experiences, from cold spots to ghostly figures in period clothing. Cultural impact and legacy. Hotel Del Salto's haunting story has inspired creative works like Carolina Flores Cherchiaro's Gothic horror novel, Muisca, which uses the hotel's history to explore themes of colonialism and trauma. The location remains popular with paranormal enthusiasts and curious travelers drawn to its mix of natural beauty and dark history. As novelist Flores Cherchiaro observed, the moment you arrive, you feel this overwhelming mix of beauty and tragedy. The house itself is imposing, and then you have this massive waterfall right across from it. The descent into darkness, suicides and supernatural claims, the Muisca curse and spectral apparitions. The hotel's haunting reputation is deeply intertwined with the tragic history of the Muisca people, who believed the Tequendama Falls were sacred. According to legend, During the Spanish conquest in the 1500s, many Muisca leaped from the cliffs to avoid enslavement, transforming into eagles mid-fall. Locals claim their spirits never left, cursing the land where the hotel was later built. Guests and staff reported ghostly figures of Muisca tribespeople and colonial-era figures wandering the halls, voices whispering in Chibcha, the Muisca language, even when the hotel was empty. The spirit of a murdered socialite, her blood-stained room said to be haunted by her vengeful ghost. The suicide epidemic. The hotel's name, Del Salto, Hotel of the Leap, took on a grim double meaning as it became a magnet for suicides. Broken-hearted guests threw themselves from the balconies, inspired by the Muisca legend of transformation. Unexplained falls, some accidental, some deliberate, left behind personal items like letters and jewelry. Police investigations into deaths at the falls further tarnished the hotel's reputation. The polluted river and environmental decay. By the mid-20th century, the Bogotá River became a toxic sewer due to industrial waste, killing all aquatic life and emitting a foul stench that drove tourists away. The hotel's decline was sealed by failed expansion plans. An 18-story hotel was proposed but never built. Mudslides and accidents on the access road, believed by some to be supernatural sabotage. The hotel's resurrection, from ruin to museum. Restoration efforts. In 2011, a joint initiative by the National University of Colombia and the Ecological Farm Foundation of Porvenir began restoring the decaying structure. Instead of reopening as a hotel, it was reborn in 2013 as the Tequendama Falls Museum of Biodiversity and Culture. Exhibits and cultural significance. The museum's mission is to educate visitors on Colombia's ecosystems, with exhibits like caverns, ecosystems of the subterranean world. Highlight indigenous heritage, including the Muisca's sacred connection to the falls. Promote environmental awareness, addressing the river's pollution. Final words. A place forever between worlds. Hotel Del Salto endures as a monument to contradictions, where luxury meets tragedy, nature battles pollution, and the dead refuse to be forgotten. Its mist-shrouded cliffs still whisper to the lost. Its halls still echo with unquiet spirits. For now, the museum stands as a fragile barrier between the living and the ghosts of Tequendama. But as the sun sets each day, the question lingers. Who truly owns this land? The present or the past? And so, the legend of Hotel Del Salto lives on, where beauty and tragedy collide, where the past refuses to stay buried, and where every whisper in the mist carries a story. But the question remains, do you believe in ghosts? Or is the real horror the history we have tried to forget? If you dare to uncover more dark tales like this, make sure to like, subscribe, and hit that bell, because the next story might just haunt your dreams. Until then, sleep with one eye open.